Folks, how you doing? Yo, it's so funny here in public access sometimes, things that go on behind the scenes, trying to get things ready and here and there. Yo, we are back with another hot episode. It's your main man, HUBERT GUY, with the Actor's Cut. I got my main man, DEXTER HENRY, up in here today. Oh, right. Man, he's real big into journalism, sports. We're going to talk about a little bit everything with him. You know, thank you for joining us again. Like I said, I'm coming at you all the time with the hottest guests, the hottest interviews. If you're not watching me on TV, you're not watching TV. I'm so sorry.
I like the swagger.
Right. Yo, Dex, thank you for being here, man.
Anytime, man. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
Introduce yourself to the TV people here.
All right, my name is, as HUBERT told you, my name is DEXTER HENRY, from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised in East Flatbush. I'm a busy guy, I'll say that.
You are.
I work for News 12 Networks as a freelance sports reporter. I also work at St. Francis College as a new media coordinator. I freelance for a couple other outlets here and there, and I also have my own media outlet, which is kind of how we connected, called Backpack Broadcasting, which is a media outlet, covers a lot of sports stories and news stories around the New York City area, but recently the company has evolved into doing a lot of live stream production. We just recently did, and we met at Nike Pro City at Baruch College.
That was crazy.
Yeah, we were live streaming the games this summer, so that was really successful. We had a good time. We partnered up with Sports Guru, another great app that we both use.
Shout out to Ken and Dane.
Yeah. Shout out to Sports Guru. They're great. So, you know, independent media, man, I always support that, and it's been huge for me, huge in my career, and helping to give other people opportunities.
Right. Yeah. And so my next question would be after that: when do you sleep?
Oh man, not much lately. I just had a daughter.
Congratulations on that.
So she's 3 months. She's 3 months old.
Awesome.
She just turned 3 months.
Awesome.
It's gone by quick. So sleep has been hard to come by, but sleep has always been hard to come by for me. Ever since college, I've always been working hard, working on the next project, editing the next video, focus on the next report. Look, I sleep when I can. I make it work. I'm hungry, and I just got to keep going.
Same here.
Now I got somebody else to work hard for.
Right.
Now, so you know how that goes.
Right. Now you got to work even harder.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the same thing. Before I had kids, I was like, you know, I was working hard. But then when you have that little mouth, you know, in my case, mouths that's looking up to you, and you dad, you make things. You work so much harder and do so much more because first of all, it's in us. It's already in us to go ahead because we want to strive. That's why he does all the things that he does.
Absolutely.
That's why I do all the things that we do. I do because I want to succeed. I love striving. I love working hard. And when you have something else to work even harder for, it just makes it that much sweeter when that success comes.
No doubt about it. It feels so good.
Wow.
Definitely.
So let's talk about some of your influences. Who were some of the people that you were watching on newscasts or whoever the sportscasters that you were looking at and emulating or trying or saying, I can do this?
You know what's funny? I mean, growing up, I think I always knew I wanted to be a journalist, but at first I wasn't really going to that career track because I didn't think I'd make money or do this. At first I thought I was going to be a doctor. But then when I got to college, I kind of just followed my passion and did it. But I always liked sports journalism. I bought the paper every day. I watched broadcasts. I remember when we didn't have cable. I used to sneak a little radio. My mom would take it from me, and I would listen to the Knicks. I'm a diehard, crazy Knicks fan, and listen to the Knicks. And I should have known from then the passion was there. But I used to always love, I really liked listening to the Knicks, so I always liked listen to Clyde and Mike Breen. They were big influences on me. And as far as journalism goes, I think later in my years, high school and college, I really was a huge fan. Rest in peace, Stuart Scott.
Right.
Stuart Scott really, he really had an effect on me wanting to do it because I just loved the way he did it with his own style. And I love that ESPN let him have his own style. And that was very influential to me. There's other correspondents that I've met throughout the years that I've known and I admire from afar, whether it's Lisa Salters, Stephen A. Smith, who's been a good mentor to me. So these are guys I've watched and like what they do, and I've taken a little bit from them. Brian Gumbel, I love what he does with HBO Real Sports. Actually, that kind of journalism is what I really want to do. That kind of news style magazine format. So I love all the correspondents on there. I think are amazing. So those people have really influenced me. But I take, stuff I see from them, but I try to put my own style. I think one thing I learned from Stuart Scott is be yourself.
Right.
You got to be yourself.
Most importantly.
And I am who I am, and I do things the way that I do, and it's going to shine through, man.
Yes, and it has, and it is, and I'm sure it will continue. Let's talk about backpack broadcasting.
Yeah.
Because I mean, this is great. Like, dude, when I was on Sports Guru, and then I saw you, like, your first video, you were interviewing somebody, and I was like, backpack bro. I was like, I need to hook up with this dude.
Yeah.
Like he's got something going on here, like real serious. Like, tell us how you got that backpack broadcasting started and exactly what it entails.
That's crazy that you felt that way.
Oh, dude, man, I was like, this dude. I was like, like every video you were like with a different sports person.
Oh man, yeah, I've done a lot of videos. But I never would have thought. And I'm going to get into answer your question, how it started. I never would have thought 6 years ago when I started, almost 6 years ago now, that somebody would have the reaction you did. Why I started it basically because I wanted to put myself and my work out there. The real story behind it is I was working for a company and they were not giving me the opportunities I thought I could to showcase my talents in front of the camera. They told me that they would. And what I saw was they put different people that didn't look like me continuously in front of the camera after they told me they would give me opportunities. And honestly, the idea behind backpack broadcasting and doing my own journalism, one-man band, going out by myself, editing, shooting my own videos, really came from a mentor of mine back in college called Jamoke Davis. He works for the Washington Wizards. Shout out to Jamoke, great guy. He kind of always had been in the back of my head, like, you need to go do this, you need to do your own thing. And when this happened, my girlfriend at the time is now my fiance, she was like, look, you need to really start doing your own thing. So I was going out to different practices, different sporting events. I just started shooting extra video, keeping it for myself, doing my own thing, putting my own stuff out there. It started building a little bit of a following. The company I worked for found out about it. They didn't like it, even though the footage I shot, I had definitely had the rights to. They didn't like it and tried to put a kibosh in. It was like, yo, you either got to do this or work for us. Looking back now, I would not have made the decision I made then, which is I kind of stopped it for a while. But I started back into it, and what I started doing was I started covering local high school sports in Brooklyn, which I had a background in doing print reporting in. And I bought my own camera, bought my own editing software, and I got back in the game. And that's actually how News 12 saw me and recognized the work I did. And then some of the guys were like, hey, you're out here doing the same work as us, turning around these packages and doing it good. And it built a following. People in the community liked it. So yeah, where it really came from, the passion of it, came from somebody, an organization, or organizations not giving me the opportunities that I felt I deserved. So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to create my own. And I think that's a good message to everybody out there. If people aren't going to give you what you want, you can go take it, create your own. There's no reason today in 2016 and back then in 2010 that you couldn't do it. So that's really where it came from. And then it just evolved. I started, doing longer form pieces, and that's something I'm actually working on, doing some more stuff. And then live streaming, I learned from starting to work at St. Francis. I was a live stream producer. I produced live stream content of their games, and I decided to start doing it for myself. And so linked up with Nike Pro City last summer, and then we started doing all the games this summer. That's how we are where we are today, man.
Humongous. I mean, it's off the chain. I mean, they had their own table with the booth. It was, I was like, yo, look at like I said, that before I get into my next question, I want to ask you, because I want to keep going on what I want to say. But I just want to say that the coverage of that Nike Pro City tour was amazing. It was awesome.
Thank you, man. We appreciate that.
The games was packed. It was marketed well.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had a great time. I also got to interview Antoine Mason at the end, the MVP.
Yeah, he won MVP. That's right.
Oh, man, he was killing them. He just took over in that second half and just was bamming on people and shooting threes and talking bad about people's mamas and everything. I was like,
he could talk
Lord.
a lot. He could talk a lot. And for those who missed it, next year we'll be live streaming it again. Or if you can't watch it online, come down. Like Hubert did. He came down.
It's free.
Yeah, he came down to Baruch College. At 24th and Lex. He came and watched. Like he said, the atmosphere was great, and you could see that when we live stream the games too. Shout out to Ray Diaz and his whole crew that runs the whole season of that tour, and they do an excellent job. And we're just helping to bring it to people that maybe can't get down there to see it, man.
Right. That's a good thing. So let me go back to what we were just previously talking about. And my question to you, because how you said you started doing your own thing because you weren't given those opportunities. Kind of like, I'm doing my own show because I want more opportunities.
Absolutely.
Too. Opportunities are very limited. So how do you feel like there's standards are, because you said they were given positions to people who didn't look like you or didn't do what you were. How do you feel like that standard is with race in the media, as far as, reporters and casters, and how do you feel like what we have against us versus like all other races and so forth?
I mean, I'm just going to be blunt about it. It's not equal, but I think anytime you walk out into this world as a black person or minority in this country, you feel that, and sometimes in certain industries, you're in the acting industry, and I'm in the media journalism industry, and we still have a long way to go in both of those industries.
Yes, we do.
There have been advances. I'm not poo-pooing that, but I think a lot of those advances start with us and starting to do for ourselves, like I did, and I encourage other people to do that instead of waiting for somebody to give you an opportunity. And I've seen it tons of times throughout my career where I feel like I've been qualified for something or I've been passed over, and that's that employer's choice. But sometimes when you start to see a trend where it's only a certain kind of people getting hired, then that's pause for cause, and you look at it and you raise an eyebrow and you like, I see what's going on there. I think it's a disservice when these companies don't acknowledge what's going on there and they're not diversifying. But there are companies, there are media outlets that are definitely focused on making things diverse, and salute to them. But there are some that are still stuck in the past, and they only are hiring a certain kind of people, and they don't want certain people in front of their brand. But you know what? As we keep moving forward and progressing forward, and as long as we keep doing for ourselves as a people, it's going to get better. So, yeah, I've seen it. It still exists. It's there. I think sometimes people want to act like it's not there, but it's definitely there in media. I mean, just turn on your TV, look online, look at many of the stations you see, and then ask yourself, hey, am I seeing people that look like me out there? Am I seeing people from either my, community, my walk of life? Are those people out there representing? Who's going to tell those stories if you don't have people in these newsrooms? How can you have true diverse news, whether it's in sports news, if you don't have a collection of different people coming together talking about these ideas? When we do that, it's going to make journalism better. It's going to make acting better. It's going to make any walk of life, work area better.
Because sometimes, like you said, I watch the news and I see people, I'm like, they get this job. Or, I'm watching certain movies, and I'm seeing certain actors, I'm like, they can't, like, what?
I understand that. I think to be clear, where you're coming from that, I don't want people to think we're not hating on anybody.
We are not hating.
We're not. And I have nothing, I try to live my life and put nothing but love out. So whatever choices, somebody made in the past, or even the company that didn't give me those opportunities, I'm actually like, hey, thank you. Because if they didn't do that, I wouldn't have made Backpack Broadcasting, and I wouldn't be where I was going to this point, where I will go in the future. So everything that happened to me helped me to go where I needed to go. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. Dexter thanks you.
Yes,
thanks you
for
helping us move along.
Yeah, so just got to put that positive energy out, but we have to call things as they are. We see them for what they are, and I think
if it's a duck, it's a duck.
Yeah, I don't think it should be sometimes labeled as people of color complaining because you don't see the opportunities out there. We're just saying, hey, we're here, we want to be at the table, we want to be a part of what's going on, and we're a significant portion of this country. Let's be a part of what's going on.
Very significant portion, and we have a lot to bring, more so than others,
Yeah.
That's just how we are as a people. I mean, the original people. I mean, that's just how we are, to bring stuff. And, I tell my sons all the time, I have my two sons, they're 8 and 5, and right now they're in a very rigorous charter school. The curriculum there is crazy. Sometimes when they come home with homework, I'm like, please don't ask me for help. Don't ask me, But I explain to them, because there's not one white kid in that school. There's not one white kid. I think it's like maybe 1 or 2 Asian kids, but this school is black kids and is Hispanic kids. And the majority of the teachers are white. Young white teachers. It is maybe four black teachers. And so what I tell my kids is, okay, I'm like, you see certain things and we have to work hard. I'm like, I tell you guys, you may hear, oh, we have to work harder or stronger than, the white people or whoever because, we have to make sure that we get our place. But I let my kids know, listen, you're not working harder or stronger. You're just doing what you do.
Right.
This is how you are. This is the type of people that we are. It's not like, because, as certain people get certain privileges, you know what I'm saying? This guy could not know how to do anything, you know what I'm saying? And still get that top position.
I've seen that.
And we work our ass off, and we still will be at the bottom or not get that opportunity
at all.
Like you said, So like it's not like I tell them, it's not about working hard. It's you. That's who you are.
That's what you do.
That's what you do.
I think you're teaching your kids, and that's something I hope to impart on my daughter, that mindset of that, failure, no, can't do is not an option. That's how I was raised. And my parents always did tell me you have to work twice as hard. But I like where you're taking it to that next level, where it's that you're working hard because it's what you do. And I think when you do that every day, it doesn't even feel like work. It's just a mindset, man.
That's it.
That's all it is.
Because man, I got to get this done. I got to do this. I got to do that.
Done.
And you do it.
Yep.
I tell my kids, hey, get yourself a plan together. I be having them focus on things that I really didn't start thinking about till I was like in my 20s. And I got them thinking about it at 5 and 8. Got to get me a plan. I got to stay focused. This is what I want to do. This is how I need to do it to achieve that. Because it's important. And I tell
Definitely.
them, I'm like, dude, and we're black men, and I'm like, it's really hard on us.
Absolutely.
I'm like, so we have to do everything that we do to the utmost, to the best, and just make sure that we are always on that level to where we keep our professionalism up there, we keep our personality up there to where we can just evolve into who we need to be without any negativity. It's always gonna be somebody going against us, especially when they see the things that we're doing and how we're doing it. Of course, they're gonna either try to hate or steal the idea, one or the other. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, but I mean, it's so very important.
Definitely.
To be able to work hard and achieve your goals and understand that it's just us. And when we see those setbacks, like not getting those positions. I've been there, done that, not like feeling like, that position should have been mine. And at once upon a time, I would kind of get upset or frustrated, but then I'll be like, dude, just think about the next thing, because when it's over, it's over. My mindset now needs to be thinking in the future and not dwelling on anything that has already happened that I cannot change.
Nothing you can do about that. And if you do, it's just going to hold you back.
Yes. Where would you like to see some of the things in the industry go, as far as media, as far as how the standards are and some of the processes are? How would you like to see, what type of changes would you like to see?
One thing I would like to see in stations, news stations, newspapers, magazines, I would like to see more outreach to minority neighborhoods to get kids involved in journalism. That's actually something I'm trying to do myself. I actually am involved with, I started this last year. I didn't start it, but I was part of a program last year called First Take. And what we do is we help young minority kids throughout the city and basically teach them about journalism, teach them how to make their own news stories, teach them how to make their own news packages. I think there needs to be more cultivation of minority talent. I think more newsrooms need to be diverse. And I think you have to invest in that. It's just like if we want to change something, we have to invest in the culture. So we have to show, young black kids, Asian kids, Latinos, whether you're Middle Eastern, wherever you're from, there has to be more diversity.
Right.
I realize how important it is when I am out and I'm reporting and I go into communities of color, or especially black communities, and people come up and tell me how proud they are to see me on the air and represent them in a certain way. It's very flattering and it's very humbling when it comes from an adult. It's even more humbling when it comes from a child. I can almost not even explain what that feels like. It's like one of those kids saying, hey, I see you, I could be like you.
Right.
And I'm only 33 years old, and I remember sitting back and watching TV when I didn't see people that look like me in certain places. So I understand what that means, and that's very important. So taking that experience, we have to do better in the media.
Yes.
And make sure we're reaching out communities, and we have people going to communities that they can understand these communities and these stories that they're reporting on. And I think that's a huge help. It's going to make us have better stories overall.
Man. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So let's talk about this real quick.
Yeah.
Upcoming basketball season. By the time people are watching this show, we will already be into the season.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big NBA fan. I'll tell you, huge NBA fan.
I'm a huge NBA fan. You know, my team, I'm from Michigan. I represent everything Michigan. My Lions,
Pistons?
my Red Wings, my Pistons.
Okay.
Hell, even the WNBA Detroit Shock.
There
you know
you
what
go.
I'm saying?
These goes all in.
Everything. and go blue. Let's go. It's hardball season. But
Well, I think you guys are going to have a good year. College football. I'll say that. I think you guys are going to have a
I
good
am
year.
so excited. Look, when I heard that Harbaugh was going to be the coach of Michigan, a tear ran down my cheek.
You knew the pain was about to be over.
Oh my God! I'm like, Lord, we are finally gonna start winning. Because to just have a great football program like that, and then go 7-5 or 6-6, like we had after Lloyd Carr, Bo Schembechler.
Some rough years. You had some tough
Oh
years
my
there.
God!
You
Rich
did.
Rodriguez,
Yep.
Brady Hoke. I can't even think of the other clown that was there, but it was all bad, and I'm just excited about Go Flu college football. But let me not deter. Let's talk about these Knicks. You guys got a good squad here.
Yeah.
But I hope they do well, and they should do well because it is the Eastern Conference. But you know, you got Rose. He's a little bit older, coming off of injuries.
Yep.
Joakim Noah. Everybody that the Knicks got is a little bit older. Do you think that I think that this team, like maybe if this team was together like 3 or 4 years ago, this would have been like thebomb.com right here. How do you feel about this team coming together right now?
I'll say this. This is what I've been saying to
And with
everybody.
the contracts are expiring and so forth.
I liked all the moves the Knicks made this offseason, with the exception of one. It's not I didn't like the player they brought in. I did not like the length of years they gave him. That's Joakim Noah. I am a Joakim Noah fan. I've always liked him. I think he brings a lot of intensity. I did not like the amount of years they gave him. I thought 4 years was too much for the amount of money they gave him. I would have gave him a 2-year, 3-year deal. Other people I've talked to within the organization who cover the team told me the Knicks pretty much bid against themselves in that situation. Derrick Rose move, going to that. I know, obviously, he's not the MVP he was 4 years ago. Derrick Rose move was a good move. Low risk, high reward. He plays good. He stays healthy, which is the key. He's got to stay healthy. Then I think he can have a huge impact on the Knicks. They didn't have any point guard last year. The fans, including myself, we were tired of seeing Jose Calderon. I would have drove him to the airport. I used to joke all the time. I couldn't stand seeing him anymore. Now you have a guy who can penetrate. Rose played good in the last 2 months of last season, where he was averaging about 16 points, about 7 assists, shooting a good percentage from the floor. If he can do that, Knicks will be fine. Courtney Lee, nice signing, guy who spreads the floor, 3-and-D guy. Fine. I like Brandon Jennings coming off the bench. Same thing with him. He's got to stay healthy. I ruptured my Achilles about 4 years ago. That's a tough injury to come back from. I understand that. The key for the Knicks is going to be, I think, Melo upping his game as a leader, and Kristaps Porzingis, who I love. And I love that pick when they made him. If he elevates his game in year 2 where I think he can go, that is the key to the Knicks' future and seeing how well they could be. Do I think they could? I think they could finish anywhere from 4 to 6 in the East. I think they're a playoff team. I think they're a team that can go to the second round. I'm not a delusional Knicks fan. I will not say they're going to win a championship this year. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think Phil Jackson's made good moves. I think he's starting to build a culture and head in the right direction. I think people need to just get off his back. It's going to take this team some time to gel. Let's see how they can do. But are they a championship team? No. Are they a playoff team? Yes, I think so.
And that alone will just bring excitement to New York basketball back again.
After what we saw the last couple of years, come on, man.
and those games are still sold out, and it was bad. So just think about the Knicks winning.
Yeah. Look, New York needs that. Let's say that. When the Knicks are hot here and they're good, there's nothing like the Garden when the Knicks are good and it's rocking. It's good. New York's a baseball town, but when the Knicks are good, man.
Oh yeah.
Like they were in the '90s when I was growing up.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
That downtown, that whole area around there, the Garden, is just sweltering. I mean, it's
it's gonna be rocking. Like if the big house is gonna be rocking for Michigan this year. Oh, it's gonna be rocking, man. If the Knicks ever get to that championship level, forget it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, the keys. Let me ask you a quick question. How many years do you think Carmelo has left?
Like at playing at a high level?
Yes. When do you think, and do you think he would be able to know when to fall back and let Kristaps take over this team? Because this could potentially become Kristaps' team.
I can see that happening as soon as next year.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll happen this year. I think Carmelo has 2 very good years left. I still think he'll be a good player plus on the other side of 34 because he's not a player that really relies on his athleticism. So I still think at that point he can still be for you a 14 to 16 point a game scorer. But I think maybe after this year, if Kristaps rises the way I think he can, it's time. But you know what? Ego is a big thing, right?
Yes.
And it's about checking that ego. And will Carmelo check that ego and say, you know what? It's time for the young gun to step up. It's his team now. Let's go and let me ride him. I got 3 more years left on this deal. Let him help me take me to the promised land.
Right, that could be even easier for Melo.
Yeah,
you don't have to do everything. I was so tired of seeing Melo have 4 for 30 shooting games. Come on.
But see, I don't see that happening this year because he's got the help around him. This is probably the best help he's had since the 2012-2013 season when Knicks won 54 games. Even though that team was a little older, this team is at least most of the players are in their prime on this team. You have Noah that's a little banged up, and Rose, obviously, you're concerned about the health. But if these players stay healthy, there's no reason that this team, I think, can win between 47 and 50 games.
Yeah.
I can see that
and
in the East.
especially in the East.
Yeah.
And in the Atlantic Division.
Yeah. Boston, I still think is a good team with good continuity. I'm not high on the Raptors as some people are. I think they might take a step down.
Yeah.
So I think it's prime for the Knicks to come up and get some wins. And, I think there's some other playoff teams last year that can move up, like your Pistons. They've improved their bench this offseason. And they didn't make any crazy moves, but they brought Drummond back and they improved their bench. And, their team on the rise, too. If they can get some good outside shooting, you guys can be dangerous. That can help Drummond space the floor around him. Bobby Jackson penetrates. The Pistons are dangerous.
We're dangerous.
You know Stan Van Gundy's going to like that kind of team with a big man that can do his thing, clean up the boards, and you have some shooters. That's the kind of team he likes.
Yes. Oh, man, this has been a great interview, man. Dex, give them your information, your contact information where people they can get a hold of you, see exactly what's going on with you.
Well, some people are going to laugh because I have like 55 Twitter accounts and everything. But if you want to follow me for my News 12 stuff, it's D Henry News 12. That's on Twitter. Also, that's the same for my Facebook page, my Facebook fan page, or on Facebook for News 12. Backpack Broadcasting, you can find us on Facebook at Backpack Broadcasting. On Twitter, it's at Bag Broadcaster, B-A-G Broadcaster. And on Instagram, it's Backpack Broadcasting. If you want to follow me personally, DapperDex23 on Instagram. So
Dapper Dex.
I try to stay dapper. Hey, with this guy with the handsome grooming, this is the way you got to stay dapper. It's with this guy right here.
Even with a fresh white tee, you got to make it look good. Yo, Dex, man, thank you for coming down, man. This was great.
No, thank you, man. Appreciate it. And good topics you're talking about on the show. Hope to come back sometime.
Oh, man, definitely you will. We'll get some sports stuff going. Remember to support Handsome Good Grooming Hair Studio located at 142 East 27th Street. You here live at the Actors Cut with HUBERT GUY. My man Dexter Henry. Peace. Perfect.
Cool. I see you got your clock and everything.
Got everything. Usually that's my countdown, but something is wrong with the
It was a little off, right? Yeah, a couple minutes off. Cool. Yo, you're doing good stuff. So how often do you do this?
Well, now because I'm gonna apply for a series starting in December where I'm gonna have like a show a set day and a set time every week. So right now what I'm doing is I'm recording a grip of material. Like I have a show out already this month. I have a show coming up next month. I have a show coming out in October and one in November. And now these 3 shows will probably be like the first 3 weeks of December.
So you got that content.
Yeah, I'm just getting tons of material. Like I'm gonna be shooting I'm gonna try to do at least 5 shows a week. So when it comes time to have my series going, it can go for that whole 3 months without me having to worry about cutting down,
that's a good
shooting
move.
Anything.
Like I said, you ever need me back, man? It's funny. There's another guy I used to know here who did it.
Let me stop this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.